believe it. Get down on it. It's even oh. Monies. Money be cool. I really need to find my headset so I can listen to music again while streaming. It'd be nice. Sure would be nice. Okay. Back to there. Look at the share. That's what I was doing. Sharing is caring. So I've been told. Oh, there we go. Hey, Neo Man. Hey, Steven. Oh. So today is going to be working. We're going to try to get Anguirus' lower jaw hooked up. And probably painting more of the SpringTrap here. Am I going to bunch this? I also want to airbrush. Oh, I can't even remember her name. Shalai from Dragon Ball Super. Because right now, yeah, I think it's going to be doing the detail and maybe a little bit more sponging. Probably with a different part of the sponge, since the part's dried out. We got more sponges. It's one nice thing. I have plenty of sponges from attempting to work on other activities that I never amounted to using. All right, so love you guys down here. I might reuse this, so I'm just gonna set that up there for right now. We do need Dremel because I also want to get him primered. Slap some primer on it. Maybe try to get him mostly painted today too, if I can. Thankfully, he'll be pretty darn quick. Cable, I did. Yeah, we gotta do it once a stream. All right, I think we're good. I think a Gargoyle Goliath figure is the same as the NECA comic flesh. If I had to venture a guess, I would say they're different. Why is it broken? Does he have ball joints on his legs? I don't think about it. I know he's got hinges on the knees. Where it connects to the thighs might be the same. Possibly the feet. I would say if you got something damaged, I would almost be more inclined to. Like Goliath, I don't think is that hard to get a hold of for the NECA one. And there's other like colored variants, so you can always steal the joints from those. So I think the video game one was a really easy one to get a hold of for fairly cheap. So I need joints. Do I get hanging out in this one? An alien leg just kind of hanging out here. So I need some smaller ones. I got my tub of parts. Could just go with a hinge. I got a bunch of hinge ones. Might be what I want. This is probably more what I want, though. This is this joint right here. We'll just stick that back there for now. Oh, make it custom. Gotcha. I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with the Flash and Gordon, so I can't. That one's a tough one. Okay, so we got to drill into here so we can get the joint to go in. Stick that over there. I got to find a drill bit that is roughly the same size as this. Too small. I think that's actually smaller. That one's actually more useless to me. I appreciate it, man. Hey, he's coming out great. Where's my big bit? That's the one I'm looking for. Problem is, it's probably got a hard time drilling into the clay, but it's kind of what I need. That's unfortunate that I don't see it heating out here. It possibly end up in the other one. Yep, that's it. Technically, the saw blade is not supposed to be in this one. The sanding and the tools. Again, I got all mixed together. This is the one I think. Yeah, because even this is like slightly small, but it's big enough. You hear it, Spirit. That's all that matters. About to listen to a Dremel. This is what you're going with. Okay, so got the bottom of the mouth. I'm just going to drill right in the center here. Oh, it sucks that this drill is not very powerful. And my battery on my other Dremel recently kind of died on me, so I'm stuck with this till I can go get a new one. It gets the job done, though. So I need it to be... Yeah, it's like... I could, like, sort of wedge it, so it needs to be a little bigger. So what I usually do is I'll just stick the drill in there and just kind of wiggle it about a little bit just to scrape the edges. You do it just a little bit. Test. So I still need some more. Wiggle it about. That's in there pretty good. That being said, I kind of want it a little deeper. Because that's what she said. Well, I guess technically he could probably say it too, but it's not as funny. It's not as funny. There we go. That's about the depths that I need. Insert a little bit of glue. Squish it down. Like that. Then I gotta wipe off the excess glue. And try to pop the joint off real quick. Just help with that. I have Q-tips around here. Where'd they go? Back here. Any figures I regret selling? None that come to mind. I'm sure there's something. So I think there was one a while back that was like I sold it and I was like, eh. There's maybe some customs that I've done that I've put together and sold that I kind of wish I didn't. Well, the Hell Godzilla is probably the one that pops into my mind that I really love the way that one turned out, but I also like money. So it went, but I wasn't as happy, but I sort of miss it. Same with my Guyver. My Guyver was sold for space reasons and to help fund things. But I figured the Guyver one, I figured I could just remake it and make it better than what it was. The Hell Godzilla, I don't think, at least the way I did it with the figure that I used, I wasn't going to be able, like, that thing came out really good. Though now that there's a 2000 figure, I kind of want a 2000 to make it with. Which would be nice. Okay, so I need this. Oh, This is gonna be interesting because I need this ball joint like decently recessed in there. So I'm gonna have to carve out this section here enough that this can go into there, maybe be inset just a little bit. And hopefully that'll give me my kind of depth that I need. So we're going to swap the drill out for my little carving bits. I kind of need the one I was using the other day for working on Obsidius. Probably the things I regret, like, if anything, regret wise, I regret selling my magic cards a few years ago because I just like my buddy, the buddy I played with the most, he moved. So I sold him all the cards when he moved. And now that I'm back in the Magic, I regret it because I had like, it was pretty much like commander wise, I had all the staples and lands and such. And now trying to slowly rebuy them sucks. Especially when I know how much I sold them for back then. I'm like paying like 3 times as much for some of the cards now. That sucks, and I wish that I didn't store my Pokemon cards with my parents. I wish I kept them with myself and maybe kept a little better care of them. Because I would honestly probably be way more into collecting that than I would be now. Now it's like I only get things periodically. It's just cards that I think are cool. When I probably wouldn't have stopped hard collecting them like I did. Right now, it might be hard to see, but I'm just kind of carving a little hole out here. Yes, it is based off the Trendmaster. Then I'm gonna go in with the opposite side and see. Ooh, I left my nippers in the other room. I might have to go get them. See if that's big enough. If I got to go a little bigger, because I need to have a little bit of space on the side here, just so that it can expand to be able to accept the ball joint into it. Because the other thing I got to be a little wary about too is I don't want to go too deep to where it's gonna affect this socket in the back. It's the other thing I got to worry about there. All right, I will be back in 30 seconds. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't see them. Oh. I didn't bring them back out here, did I? I didn't think I did. I see my God hand nippers there, and I'm like, I don't want to use them because they're pretty easy to damage. So I hear. Oh, well, Dookie Dukes. Here's the Funko Pops. Oh, that's kind of cool. So what I want to do is just nip this off, but leave like just a smidge so when I go to drill, I can use the knife here though to do it. I just want to drill just a little bit, just so there's something for it to hook into. Well, I say I use the knife and then there we go. And just try to see if this will sit, how far it's sitting. I think I still gotta go deeper. Okay, we're gonna try to drill out the little center section, see if that helps anything. Nothing yet. Just drilling out the mouth. Have I ever given up on one? There was one I gave up on because I just didn't like the way it was coming out. Which was it was a kaiju from the really bad things. Regula. It was the way I was making it, it was just gonna be way too heavy. And I just wasn't in love with the way it was turning out. So I just was like, yeah, you know what? I'll take the hit on the epoxy putty. I just don't want to do it. I think difficulty but I think that was the only one. It wasn't even. I wouldn't say it was difficult. It's just the way it was coming out. I just wasn't that. I just didn't like it. And oh, I just realized while I was sanding, it sanded into the tooth, or I think the side here was touching the tooth. So the one big tooth, it sanded it down. That's unfortunate. All right, we're gonna have to, I guess, redo the teeth. Okay, that's recessed in. See how it looks with the jaw in there. That's not gonna give me a lot of play though. I need that more at an angle. Because there, it's going to connect and it looks good, but I can't really do much with it up and down. So if I glue that in and then remove a little bit of the clay around here. It'll probably let me, because I like this, like I like that spot. It's a good spot for it to stop and then go up into the jaw. I think I need to remove some material around there. Which means I'm probably not doing this guy today. See how that works. I'll probably be the Bebop. I think I can reuse the stuff from him. My only concern is because I glued these on pretty well, they are pretty adhered to the teeth that were there previously. And that just popped out some epoxy, me just trying to yank that out. So I'm just going to preemptively pop this back off. Sadly, I'm going to epoxy just a little bit. And now that I did that, does that get me? That works. So then the mouth would be that open. That looks pretty natural to me. Do you need that to be kind of right there? Just gonna hold in place for a minute, see what happens. Hey, Grim. Oh, come on. Now we don't want to do what I want. There we go. Rawr. Got too much of a wiggle still. I think I can afford to shave off a little bit more there. I'll double check here in a minute. Okay, let's try that again, but this time with a little more feeling and a little bit more glue adhering. Why are you not sticking? I think I just gotta leave it alone for a while. But that'll be how far his mouth can open. And he'll still be able to close good. I'm just gonna let that sit for a few minutes and muck around with the teeth slightly. Okay. Be back. Is your tusk gonna be too big? Probably. So anything else that's tiny in it? Too thick. Too metallic. Look at these dragon wings. I'm like, yeah, those are way too big. There's some people on the table. I might cut them off just to see, but they look like they'd be too big. They wouldn't be insanely off, but it'd be big enough. Let's say so close. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't have teeth that had fangs on them. That came in that little baggie. It's really cool. Sometimes it's nice looking through these things, and I always find stuff that I'm like, oh, hey, that's useful. That little spawn. Naruto things. Yeah, destroy a horn. Would that work? An extra Saki pull. You know, if I get that to cut right, that would look fine. Solid maybe, actually. That might work. Heck is this thing? I don't even know. Most of these things, I kind of like remember what the parts came from. Then there's some things where it's just like I have no idea what the hell it was. Check out the other box. This one's not as deep. Horse horn. Yeah, it might have. Uh-oh, I hear my daughter. Man, this has a skeleton, right? Just curious how that. If I cut right there. Casey, what you doing?
Oh.
I think it has too much of a bend to it. Yeah, a little too much of a bend there. Next is. I'm gonna try these. Oh no, my mother's calling. We'll call back in a bit. Man, everybody wants attention now. What you doing, bud? Yeah? How did that get downstairs from outside? I'm confused. Anyways, if I cut these down more, they might still be okay. Yeah. Uh, you don't say. Actually, I always forget I have these things too. Where? Pair of tweezers. Just want my pair of tweezers. Of course, nowhere to be found. Okay. Yeah, it's like the side profile I kind of dig. Whoa. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the way. It just looks like it's slightly too puffy from the front. So I think I'm gonna use these, but I might like shave it down just like a little bit. Ow! Yeah, do like a little bit of epoxy in, but I kind of like it. To be fair, it gives them more of a toy look. Very toyetic. Alright, real quick, I gotta go get my daughter back upstairs. Buddy, there's not enough room to drive it down here. I know you're bound to determine. Come on, you gotta go upstairs. We gotta go upstairs, buddy. No, why don't you go with your mama for dad? Let's go with your mama. Come on up from her nap. We're going. Oh, that's just random stuff. Just makes the mouth. Right. How dare they make you do your job? But anyways, that's what they look like currently. I have the epoxy just a little bit to fix around them. If you think it looks too big, I kind of like it. It looks a little more toyetic. Rawr. I know, sanding it down, that really worked, made the jaw work out really good. Jaw? It kind of, I think, like, it works pretty good with the way the back spikes are. The only thing I'm kind of contemplating on doing is because his lower section's a bit bumpier than the upper body, I kind of want to maybe go over with like a little bit of epoxy just to give him little bumps, a little bit more of a rough texture. I think might look pretty cool on him. Either way, I got to mix up like just a little bit of epoxy putty. So more than likely, I'll try to slap some primer on him tomorrow. I was hoping to do it today. Also, next question: does my compressor still have air in it? Nope. Might mute the stream while I hook that one. Let that thing go. Still need to hear that going on while. I want to feel like some ASMR. Just need Oh, if I do the body thing, I probably want a little more. It's going to take a little bit, though, for now. Well, the box buddy, you just want to make sure your balls are about the same size. This one's slightly bigger, so I'm going to take off just a little bit of it. And then what I'm doing is just filling in around the teeth just to make sure that they kind of stay at that pitched angle a little bit and fix the little chip that popped off. Is my hope there? Like I said, I want to blast some primer on July and see what I got to work on with her too, because I'd like to get her done soon. All right, pop the head back off. So we need apply. Look around and see, because I have a smaller one of these, but I don't see it on my tray. There it is. Cool. This would be a little bit better for filling in the sections here. Right. We're not using this, at least at the moment. See if I can adjust you guys so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Applying a little bit of epoxy putty there, just to fill in that gap. Because this was originally here to hide the line for the teeth. And then hopefully I can pop off this lower jaw now without removing it from the socket. Come on, remove the whole socket with it. There we go. Just so I can get a little bit of epoxy also underneath the teeth. And this will help keep it at the right pitch that I want it to be. Because the glue is going to hold it there, but the epoxy will make sure if something touches the teeth, it's not going to pop off from the glue. And just a little bit around the tooth. You know what? I kind of want this one a little higher, I think. Hold it in place just so the glue hardens. Yeah, you knock on all the wood. Knock on all of it. And it's like the other side just stuffed in the teeth. I accidentally sliced into that tooth just slightly. So I do think I got to glue that down too. Might not be the smartest move. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on my tool here. And then try to just rub it underneath. Hold it there for a second, and hopefully that'll do the trick. Just going to wipe off the rust with my glove. Again, same as the first. I'm just going to keep applying a little bit of putty here and there just to fill in some sections. Oh, I think it's Casey's watching her tablet above me. I don't know if you guys are picking it up when I'm being quiet, but I think she's watching Raya or whatever it is. The Disney Dragon movie. Okay, I filled in the crack. Reinsert this. I need it a little bit more packed. Might be able to keep the jaw on while they do this. So they need to be a little bit more pitched. That looks better. So there's the front jaw. Teeth decently lined up. Then so like I said, the final thing I'd like to do is maybe with a little bit of this extra putty is to just wipe it down and just kind of get it wet and just kind of roughly apply it to the figure just to try to texture it up a little bit. Or maybe better yet, just getting it all over my gloves than just getting handsy with it. Oh no! You know it's supposed to fall. Where did it go? I saw where it landed. It's just like ninja vanished. As I should stand out pretty well, it's the giant lump that should be hanging out down here. Huh, okay. I guess I'm not using that piece. Yeah, my thought was getting it wet, kind of smearing it around. And then I might not be doing what I was hoping to. Right. What I'll probably end up doing is probably when I do the upper body paint, I'll probably overspray the upper body so it'll have a little bit of a texture to it and then do the rest. So we're just going to call him good for today. Next on the agenda, it is 4:56. Uh-oh. My wife steal my key. No, she didn't. Okay. Why isn't it plugged in? Okay, it's starting now. My wife likes to steal my laptop cable because it charges things super fast. Okay, I think what I would like to do. Oh, and I choose you go. Is work on painting SpringTrap a little bit. Let me find a good shot of. I need more pictures of Matthew Lillard. So there's this one here that gives me a pretty good idea. Trying to see how, because I know the eyes are painted metallic silver, and I want black in where the damage is, but it's hard to see what like the other color should be. Kind of leaning towards like a gray, like grayish brown. I almost kind of want to do a red because I just think red would look cool. But it's looking like it's more of like a brown. In those sections, probably to replicate like the burnt fur. The blacks and browns. I got my black primer hanging out in the general vicinity. No, I got gray. So unprepared. All my miscellaneous paints. Next question: do I just have a black? I have graphite. You can make it metallic. I'm sure metallic would look awesome. Oh, the camera went down. No, nobody told me. Okay, well, since I have to go upstairs, I'm gonna get the air compressor going. So I'm actually just gonna mute for my daughter made it back down. I'm gonna mute for a second, and then we will. Then I'll be back. So I gotta take Casey upstairs. So give me 30 seconds. Well, probably more like a minute or two.
Bye.
Okay, I think that should be good enough for me to when I want to airbrush. Got some black. I'm just gonna go over some sections here real quick, and then while it's drying, we'll work on other things. So just gonna add some black into here. What this is just kind of like this is black primer. It's mainly meant for airbrushes, but it works really good for just brushing on. And it usually takes a couple of coats to really cake on the black, which I also like because it'll still show like a little bit of the color underneath, and I can just brighten it up after the fact. I also got to put a little bit of black on the eyes because we're going to go back over them with some metallic silver. Hey, Lucas. What? Wait a minute. Was it? Did I stream yesterday? It's all a blur. Yeah, I did. Okay, I think that's all the harsh areas. I'm gonna use my curling detail brush to kind of hit some areas around here. Some of the later sections. I know what? I didn't even hit this last drywall. I'll be honest, I kind of like to use my finger to smear some of these details out. But sort of like that. I think that's about everything on the face. Because the teeth, I'm gonna go back over with like a white, so around the ear just a little bit here where it's got the giant gap. So that's looking pretty good. Then hopefully we get the flamey look. I'm actually gonna get quite a bit of this off the brush. Then just lightly dab around the edges. Might need a thicker black for that. Yeah, I'm gonna when I go upstairs for dinner and stuff, I gotta edit some videos, and I'm gonna work on making the file for that while I'm doing that because I'm hopefully gonna get him started printing tonight. I think is my plan. No. I was sort of thinking like doing like put them on like a spring so they jiggle in and out. I was thinking about airbrushing these on, but I think the brush is gonna do a little bit of a better job for me. That too. Like I said, what I really want to do is just use like a little dollop of black and just like kind of scrub brush around it. I think it will give me the look that I kind of want, anyways. I'm going to take a little bit of a wash to... Oh, geez. I thought you guys could see what I was doing. My apologies. Okay, oh, it's a part by the armpit here. Good. Use the little brush just to hit some of the details around the edges that I maybe want to not brush on too hard. Oh, missed the lower arm. Let's use this. Well, the ear's covering his face. That'd be a cool one. I think that looks good. Oh yeah, he's fully posable. He's a 1/6 scale body, so like even the this one I didn't try put the hand back on all the way, but even the fingers are articulated. Yeah, no, he's everything moves. Set aside for a second because I also want a black primer around his beard. I think it'll make for a good base color, and then I'm gonna do the face red and then brighten it up from there. Just kind of want to make. Oops. Yeah, wrong angles. But just want to make sure the hair has nice, like, darker undercoat, and then I can just start brightening it up afterwards with just dry brushing. So kind of like that. Oh. It's almost as pale as you, and it is as pale as me. Couple of spots I kind of missed, so we'll go back through and touch those up a little. Like I said, it doesn't have to be like super black on the undercoat, but I need like everything to have black on it though. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. This is going to be mainly just putting some base colors on and calling it a day for the head. Now, some of you may be asking yourselves why I'm painting his head red for the skin. It's not going to be his primary color. It's just going to be what I'm using for the undercoat, so that when I go to start like dry brushing and brightening it up, it'll give it a bit more of like a realistic skin tone. But just like with the black, I gotta make sure all the white's hidden. Might go back through the black just for a little bit, just to hit some areas. If I can, I would like to leave his eyes alone, though. Right. It's fine. He's just more gory than he was in the movie. We're being creative. We're taking artistic liberties. It's already bad enough that this is technically an Obi-Wan Kenobi that I'm gonna try to make look more like Matthew Lillard. Okay, take my finer brush and just kind of go around the edges just a little bit. Next question. Do they make a Shaggy doll that's close enough? I am gonna have to go get a new brush though, I think. That might be something I have to go buy tomorrow. Bye. No. Like 20 minutes. Yes, I do. To be fair, this is probably cheaper to go this route. Because either way, I'd have to modify. Well, I think Shaggy probably wouldn't have the right hair, though. Like, I would have to modify the hair. Katie. Oh, geez, both of you are done. I didn't even know the dog made it out. Hey, bud. I gotta go prime or something. You can't keep trying to ride on the thing. Puppy. No, DPP. Come on, we gotta go back upstairs. If the first 2 times were any indicator, we gotta go upstairs. I just gotta do a little. I'm just getting base colors on. We're calling it a day. Thank you. Fine. I just want to primer Shalai and see what I gotta possibly fix. Want to be upstairs? Go. I'm busy.
You're definitely not doing that. What I thought you would do.
Yeah, go get your daddy's changed.
Oh, you're bad.
Casey just wants to hang out. Oh. Dookie. There we go. Hey, Bubby, still hanging out. Do, 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 do. Oh, he looks ornery. The base of the neck, I'm not as worried about because I'm just going to be like it's going to be hidden under everything. So, but primarily where the neck is attached to it and the head, I got to make sure it looks good. But we're gonna let that sit overnight. I guess I probably got to call it good on SpringTrap for the day too. Hopefully, I should have some more time to work on tomorrow. The one thing I want to do real quick. My compressor died. The air leaked out. That's unfortunate. I just want to put some primer on you. I guess I could brush it on because I'm probably going to have to. Like, either way, I'm going to have to go over it probably one more time sanding stuff. But I wanted the primer to really see what I gotta do. That's a good push. There we go. Mainly just want to hit with some primer, just this in sections to see if I gotta smooth things out a little better. How does it blend? Does the clay hide pretty well? All that stuff. So this won't be the most even primer coat, but it'll give me a good sense. Of what I still gotta like work on a little bit. And at least for the head, it looks like I gotta do a little bit more sanding, especially around here. To see there's a couple of deep grooves in a few sections. right there and along here could be a little smoother. Maybe a little bit more cleaning up down here. But the head needs a little more attention. The scary one is the body. Oops. That's a little bit of a blob there. I think this needs a little bit more sanding for sure. Honestly, the part I thought was going to be more of an issue doesn't look like it's going to be that bad. Is the chest? Like where the chest and the armor kind of connect? It's actually more of like the divots in the armor is more of an issue than anything. Yeah, you totally see. Yeah, there's some sections that could be a little cleaner. Okay, so she still needs a little bit of sanding. So that'll probably be tomorrow. I want to high note the arms look like. They're honestly pretty good. Yeah, maybe like a little bit more sanding on that one. Yeah, this one needs a little bit more too. It's like I gotta clean up a little bit around these sections here. This side piece needs actually quite a bit of work. So I definitely gotta do a little more sanding here. Or possibly just going it lightly over it with a little bit more epoxy. Slight bit of sanding around the boobs. Legs look pretty good. Probably like a little bit more sanding, but nothing crazy. It's pretty much like light sanding, quite a bit of detail sanding on the body still. And the hair needs a little more work too. Okay, well, at least I got a game plan for tomorrow. Anyways, you can help us defeat those guys by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, Facebook. If you guys like keep up to date with what you're doing, greatly would appreciate it. We also got a Discord that's attached to our Patreon. If you guys like to be a part of that, we have an Etsy shop. If you guys are looking to get some commissions done for yourselves, there's the Dashery if you want to get our logo on some apparel. So if you want to get some sweet Geek Chest sweaters, even though it's getting a little warmer now, or regular t-shirts, get muscle shirts. Show off those pecs, with Geek Chest logos. Greatly would appreciate it. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.